What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Big Think Dimension, the only gaming podcast for the modern gigabrain gamer. I am your host, Dan Video Games, and with me, as always, are our online co-hosts, KZ Excellent from kzexcellent.com. How are you doing?
Are we recording?
And Mr. Feel from Mr. Feel's Wild Ride on Twitter. And Bob.
Hey guys.
Don't worry, Bob, we're recording. These two seem uncertain, but we are in fact recording.
Yeah, Feel tricked me.
Yeah, I used my fucking 5-dimensional chess.
Again.
I fucking used a Code Geass-esque ruse to fucking confuse KZ. and then I accidentally had the entire Japanese population genocided by accident.
Oops.
That's the risk
Again?
of what happens when you're using your Geass. Accidentally, the only time in the show.
This is epic.
Yeah, don't do that bird out of your eye.
I feel like Mr. Feel might be a creature from a fable that's supposed to trick children into being eaten by bears or something.
Are you saying I'm a fucking fae?
Maybe.
Like I'm a fucking brownie or something, some sort of trickster fucking little goblin?
I mean, now that you're saying it, it just sounds right. I didn't say it, you did.
Well, I did get you to watch 2 Channel Awesome movies.
Yeah. And that's the thing we should warn children about with stories. The Foolish Gamer and his incredibly foolish podcast.
But if I was a trickster spirit, I wouldn't have stopped before to boldly flee.
But see, now every comment for the rest of eternity is, when's to boldly flee?
Yeah, instead you've ruined the comment section.
Oh no,
Well-
Mr. Feel ruined the YouTube comment section.
You're gonna get demonetized from all the people asking for to boldly flee.
Some
Not
tech
from some asshole swooping in and writing the N-word.
No, that's both. They're gonna say it because we aren't watching To Boldly Flee, and this is retaliation.
Some tech at YouTube's just going to be looking at the comment section, and then they're going to look at the camera and go, man, what a fucking piece of shit, and just hit the
There's
button
like
that
this.
bans
There's like
me.
this dramatic moment of him loading up the subscription page, and the next episode of Cursed Content Club is Isolation 119 and Not to Boldly Flee, and the camera just like zooms in real hard on his his in key.
But then it's Good Burger, and they're like, all right, that's fine.
It's fine. At least it got good burger. But hey, how you guys doing? Bob, you doing all right?
Oh yeah, I'm okay.
Anthem came out today
It did
for the 3rd time, I think.
something like that, right?
Yeah. What's up with that? Has anyone here played Anthem?
Not that demo for me.
Oh, okay. You ever
I
just
heard
think
it's raw.
You ever just think that demo was so good that maybe you should go spend a lot of money on the early edition?
No, because the early edition required me to be like a subscriber to EA.
Oh, that's
Like $100
You have
or
to
something.
be a member of EA's Good Boy Club.
You have to sign their death contract.
Yes.
When you die, EA gets your body and harvests it for sellable nutrients.
For some reason, the X button, instead of saying agree to EULA, it just says your soul is forfeit.
Yeah, they take all permission to launch you into space once you die.
Whenever you finish signing it, it disappears in a puff of black smoke.
Or it's like a Ready Player One where they lock you into the VR slave camp.
I was thinking it would just play a voice clip that goes, tick-tock, gamer, tick-tock. And then the demon would just disappear in a puff of smoke. But hey, guys.
Is that fucking Critic reference?
Hey, it's not a good one if you call it out. You're supposed to just sit there, nod, and clap. Anyway, I feel like we're a little. Thank you. I try. I feel like we're a little light on news this week, so I'm gonna get out early. Just one quick news from 10 years ago.
Oh, no.
Gaming news
Oh, boy.
from 10 years ago. Crytek, the developers of Far Cry and Crysis, bought Free Radical. They renamed them to Crytek UK. A lot came of that, right, Bob?
Was that 10 years ago?
That was 10 goddamned years ago.
That's insane.
That was
A lot of good
2009.
games.
I'm surely they've all quit by now. There's no way that studio is still open even.
No, I'm pretty sure that studio got closed.
Okay.
Wow, they didn't. Oh, they made Crysis 2 and Crysis 3. That's raw.
Well, that wouldn't have been this studio. That's just their...
No,
They were shut down. Oh my god. Oh god. This is fucking horrifying.
Yeah, no.
They
so
were
let
shut
me-
down, and then all the staff got moved to another studio where they were forced to work on Homefront 2.
Yep, correct. Thank you for recapping that tragedy. But yeah, so here's their career. Anyone, guys, feel free to jump in when things start looking bad. Time Splitters, Time Splitters 2, Second Sight, Time Splitters Future Perfect, Haze, Crisis.
That's obvious. Haze is obviously the point where things have gone wrong.
That's my who.
Haze is. You wouldn't understand. You weren't a Sony
Haze
fanboy.
Haze is the piss. Haze is the piss glass game from the PS3 that has the Space Marine that has Vanitas's helmet.
Oh.
See, if I was brilliant like Phil, I would have known to speak in terms of Kingdom Hearts. But yes, Haze.
Or I just remember the cover and it's like flaking off in the exact same way Vanitas's
It's true.
fucking helmet melts.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's very clever. See, in Haze, KZ, you start out as a police officer who brutalizes people who do drugs. But then you realize that you're actually the one who's hooked up on mind control drugs. So you turn against the man. This
Mind
twist.
control drugs.
And I think IGN gave it like a 4.
Yes. This twist was in every trailer, and it literally goes, "That's when I turned on them." And he kicks the camera, and it makes a glass shattering sound.
Why would the camera make glass shattering sound?
What was with the shattering glass color of piss aesthetic from last gen?
People were like, "Hey, we're tired of brown," and they're like, "How about yellow?" And we met in the middle.
It was just bad. I don't know.
It was really bad.
You know, this is that's a really good twist. I don't know how Spec Ops: The Line could compete with that.
Spec Ops hot take. Spec Ops: The Line sucks.
I'm ready for that live stream, which is better, Spec Ops: The Line or Haze?
Is that sounds like a really good versus podcast?
Yeah. Oh man.
Somehow both better than GT.
Weird. It turns out neither of them had pedophiles.
I think Spec Ops sucks, but at least it's trying to do something with its story, and I'm sure they're both equally unpleasant to play.
Yeah. And then after Haze, it goes Crisis 2, Crisis 3, Warface, the 360 port of it.
That thing's
Again,
real?
Who?
And
Warface sounds like a character in a Channel Awesome movie.
oh, really? I was gonna say a DC Universe character, but you know,
Yeah,
I
same-
thought it was
oh,
a Battleborn character.
And he has a really stupid voice.
Yes.
Like, I'm Warface.
time to face war. And then he looks at the camera and like smiles and winks, but you hear a shotgun sound when he winks.
I'm offensively fey and maybe an offensive gay stereotype, but Randy Pitchford doesn't care because he's a pedophile. Allegedly.
What is this new voice?
Allegedly. Yeah,
I don't know,
no.
this is the stupidest voice I was trying to make.
Look, he's auditioning right now to be the new Claptrap.
It's like a game show host who's having his balls being crushed.
I don't know how to cope with that, so we're gonna move on. Hey, Bob, what have you been playing lately?
I love how you throw it to Bob.
I can't wait till Borderlands 3 gets announced and we get to see Claptrap flossing.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
Hey, Bob.
What's up?
Talk about something else.
Sure. I played this week Warriors Orochi 4.
Warriors Orochi 4. What is Warriors Orochi, Bob?
Warriors Orochi is the combination of the Samurai Warrior and Dynasty Warrior series that are made by Koei Tecmo.
Oh,
So it's
and this is the fourth?
a fourth one. There's like
Wow,
100-something characters in this. It's absurd.
that's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's the Blaze Blue Cross tag battle of that series.
Yes, but it plays okay.
And there are a lot of characters.
Except they made that and it's the one that has the Atelier and
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
All
Neo
Stars.
and all those.
What's it?
Yeah,
What's it
it's
called?
Warriors All-Stars.
Warriors All Stars.
I think it's called like Musou All Stars.
That's the Japanese name, but I'm pretty sure it's Warrior All Stars here in the
for
States.
yeah, it has constantly vexed me with this series that in Japan they call it something Musou, and then in America they're like warriors, and I'm like, this is a really bad word to be your defining word for this family.
They're locked in. They can't use the Japanese word. No one will buy that.
I mean, Tengoku Buster tried that. Nobody bought it.
I mean, look, guys, look.
Well, they tried it. They tried the opposite way first, and nobody bought it.
I feel like Dynasty Warriors gets a little bit of a pass because you have a Musou bar in the game. I can't stand all the games that came out and just put the word Kiwami at the end.
That's only
the Sega.
3?
No, that was also that other game.
Yeah,
the
Tokiden also did it.
Tokiden also did that. And I was like, why is this happening?
It's just, they should all have the translator and note on the bottom. It says, Kiwami means extreme.
That's the funniest part of the Yakuza Extreme, where the first NPC you can talk to in Yakuza Kiwami just says, Kiwami means extreme. And I think it's the title of one of the tutorial boxes.
At that point, why isn't it an editor's note on the box art?
Because that'd be way too keto. They wouldn't do it.
Sega management said no.
So Bob, talk to me about Warriors Orochi 4.
This one, unlike...
Is it Warriors Orochi or Orochi Warriors 4?
It's Warriors Orochi. They
Warriors
make it...
Orochi. Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, it's a little smoother than...
Warriors Dynasty.
Yeah, like Orochi Warriors.
Uh-huh.
I guess it wouldn't come off as good. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a weird thing they chose.
I don't know.
But this one, they don't have any of the weird guys like Ninja Gaiden characters and Dead or Alive characters like they did in the Warriors Orochi
or
3.
the Tecmo Deception characters.
Those guys are.
They also put an Atelier character in one of the earlier ones too.
Yeah, that sounds right.
They redesigned him in like the Samurai Warrior style.
Yeah.
Although he still looked a little bit more anime.
So they don't have any of those characters.
Right, but they have all the Samurai Warriors and Dynasty Warriors characters.
It's
kind of sad though, because this game feels a lot better than the All-Stars Warriors game.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping another All-Star Warriors game actually comes out after this and is as good as this one.
All I hope for is a Dynasty Warriors game that's good, because they haven't made one since 5.
Yeah. It's really nice to play this after Dynasty Warriors 9, because oh my god, that game is awful.
Just real quick, KZ or Field, did either of you play the most recent Dynasty Warriors 9?
No, I've played Hyrule Warriors and Pirate Warriors 3.
So those are games. Dynasty Warriors 9 is a fucking technical abomination that never should have been sold for money.
I heard the legends of how bad that is.
You don't need to tell me, Dan. I saw Open World Musou and just laughed and closed the tab.
Basically.
Yeah, no, that's fair. When they announced everything they were planning with it, I'm like, oh my god, these games barely run already. Why are they doing this? Because for whatever reason, the Dynasty Warriors mainline games have been getting ambitious in ways that aren't fun, but continue to ruin the frame rate. Unlike the Samurai Warriors game they made this gen, which runs great.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And then this is kind of like that, right, Bob?
Yeah,
it's kind of like the Samurai Warriors game this gen, where it's got a lot of characters on screen and a lot of neat features. And
did you
big
play
scale.
God Seekers?
God Seekers?
Is that another Dynasty
I know
Warriors?
that game exists, but I've never heard any.
Do you mean
Dynasty Warriors God Seekers? It's a spinoff that came out on PS4 and Vita and stuff.
Oh, is that weird one where they turn to get their Super Saiyan forms?
I thought that was called Sparking.
Don't know. It's also a strategy game with no hack and slash.
Okay, all right.
That's kind of like that Pokemon Conquest game.
Is it also open world?
But yeah, this one...
No, because it was on the Vita. The Vita can't handle that.
Right. Yeah, the Star Force. That was the one where they also Super Force.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, that's a Mega
Man
that's
Mega Man. But yeah, there was one called...
Force.
Yeah,
maybe
it
that
might
was
be
it.
Strike Force or Sparking or whatever.
But that one was kind of lame. Like, it didn't feel like a Dynasty Warriors.
But what's the structure here?
This one, it really just starts you out like a regular Dynasty Warriors game. The only disappointing thing is you don't get to choose your empire you're starting on. It's just kind of like
what?
It starts you with 3 characters, and then it just keeps adding more and more as they meet more people. Like I did the first chapter, it's like 4 missions. I probably have like 30 plus guys I could choose.
Bob, is this a road trip movie?
Basically.
I don't.
Like the game opens up.
Final Fantasy 15 of.
Your car breaks and 307 Chinese people push it.
But yeah, it opens up on...
That's how you get faster. There's just more of them to carry it.
Some sort of Greek god realm.
Okay, have any of you guys seen the panel from Vinland Saga with them carrying the boats?
No.
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 because it's a Viking manga, and like the very first chapter is they have to invade a village that has its back against a lake, and the village is like they can't do shit to us. We have these big walls and our back is to a lake, and then it just smash cuts to like a 2-page spread of Vikings carrying their boats with like 100 guys carrying each boat, and one guy at the top of the boat pointing his sword towards the lake. And that's all I could think of when KZ said that.
That's pretty good. So you're just going mission to mission. Do you get to choose anything that's going to affect the flow of the stories, or just like now we're doing the next one?
It's just the next. You do the next mission, but you can choose all of these characters. You get to choose 3 main characters that you're playing as that you switch through on the fly, and then you choose like another 4 support characters.
Wow.
And I don't know what they do exactly, except for you have an ultimate attack where all 5 or what is it? All 7 of them show up and shoot a giant Kamehameha sort of thing.
So you do Mega Man's Final Smash.
Yes, but which is without whatever 8 Chinese warriors you want.
Yeah, Chinese or
This is
Japanese.
raw.
Yes, or Japanese. And they also added each person has like a magical item now, so you like hold the R1 button down and you can do a different magic move for each one.
I guess we should.
So it's
we
like
should cover.
weapons and Zelda Warriors.
A little bit, but it's
I guess we should kind of cover the basic of what a Warriors game is, because I feel like not many people have actually played them, even though they've gotten these Fire Emblem and Hyrule Warriors. So this is like normal, right, Bob? Where you just have a giant battlefield.
yes.
You have a bunch of stations in the middle of them with generals and stuff spread out all over it, and you walk from each area to the other areas and attack generals and defeat them in a hack and slash way, right?
Yes, this is very much typical. You have like mission objectives on the map. You have
Conditions can
guards.
change. Events can happen. You never know what's going to happen next. You never know what's going to come through those doors. It might be Lubu, in which case you should, not pursue.
All I know is that in one of the games you get the menu option to pursue Lubu, and if you do it, it's a game over.
Check this out. In a lot of them, that is the case, because even though you could be strong enough to survive it, your entire army will be ground to dust by the time you are done killing Lubu. He takes like 300 hits. And so the whole time you're fighting him, every fucking officer on your side is dying. You're like, I've almost got him, guys. I've almost got him.
The opening mission to this one, you fight Lubu. Like it tells you to go fight him.
What?
You actually
We've just thrown every rule in the book out the window.
Pursue him.
you beat him in game. And then it cuts to a cutscene where he goes Super Saiyan and shoots a giant energy blast, and everyone's like,
I was
"Please
gonna
do
make
not
a
mess
Super
with
Saiyan
this
Lubu
guy."
joke 10 minutes ago.
You told me to fight this guy? What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ, guys. Nice hazing ceremony.
But it was okay. You had Toyokatsu Honda. He's like the Japanese version of Lubu. It really wasn't okay though.
It really wasn't. Hey, Bob.
What's up?
We're gonna get into some nitty gritty for fans of Warriors games just for a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Just the tip.
You don't get to select empires that you're working for, which is unfortunate. That's like one of my favorite parts of those games, getting to see them from different perspectives. But do you what's the loot drop look like? Do you get weapons? Do you get accessories?
It seems like it's just weapons.
Okay.
But you can upgrade the weapons in different ways, like you putting more elemental effects on them, stuff like that.
Okay, so you can. Is it randomly generated elemental effects, or is there a gem system? Like, how does this?
There's
how does it
some
work?
sort of system I haven't been able to get into too deep
Okay.
to upgrade them with materials that drop.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you have a mount?
Yes.
Bring into battle.
Oh, the best part of the mount, because you can select the mount like always. You have different horses you unlock.
Yeah.
But you can now use the magic button and just have you appear on your horse when you hit the jump and the magic button. It's just like horse is under you. You're now running on the horse.
Just hard cut.
Yes.
Every horse is named Nimbus.
There's just an energy effect, and you're sitting on the horse.
God, man, this actually.
Moon Psyche.
I actually was really interested in buying the most recent Samurai Warriors game, and this has all the things in it that I saw in that interested me. But even more because you get to play as Dynasty Warriors characters as well.
Right.
Like, I really like it when these games run really smoothly and have a shitload of characters on screen and still maintain that scale. So I may look into this. I don't know.
And Super Saiyan Lubu.
And Super Saiyan Lubu is pretty dope. All I know is that last Dynasty Warriors really upset me, and as a person whose favorite series out of all these Warriors games was Dynasty Warriors, I would appreciate it if Tecmo Koei stopped fucking it up.
Yeah, maybe number 10 they'll get it right.
Could you stop fucking up the main one, please?
Please, God. It's like if we had all these Mario spin-offs like Mario Maker and New Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario 3D Land, and then Odyssey came out and it was just a fucking tire fire and ran at 10 frames per second, and you're like, why? Why are you like this? Every other spin-off's getting better and better, and the main series is like, we added a real market economy. The frame rate's now 8.
Why? Would you like this egg?
The real money auction house tried to open up on launch day, but unfortunately everyone trying to sign into the servers DDoS'd every Tecmo Koei game.
The only thing that kind of makes me sad is with Samurai Warriors side of characters is I just remember their Goku Boster designs. I'm like, oh my god, those are so much better.
Oh
like,
yeah,
it
yeah.
hurts.
That is a real problem with that.
Yeah.
Yukimura Sonata always looked way cooler in Sengoku Basra than he did in Samurai Warriors.
Yeah, and one of them they Sekiwis in like the first mission in the Warriors Orochi is Lee Naomasa.
Mm-hmm.
And in that she's like this really soft spoken, like always saying I'm sorry as she kicks people.
Yeah.
And in the Sengoku Basra one, she's basically like Satsuki Kirin from Kill la Kill, has a giant broadsword and is yelling at people constantly.
Wrong.
These are very different interpretations.
Yeah.
This is very exciting.
I do
I'm gonna
wonder.
be real with you. Like every
Yeah.
design in Sengoku Basara is incredible.
Yeah.
It is. They're all made by freaking the same designer as Shinobi and Devil May Cry 1.
Yeah, and by Shinobi
he's-
we mean the PS2 Shinobi. That designer's really fucking cool.
Yeah. I wish he did more stuff.
Like when Bob realized that and told me, I was like, God, that makes so much sense. That dude makes dope shit. Oh, man. Have you been playing anything else though?
Not really. That was it.
Okay.
Other than that awful trash we played last week for the live stream, but they've seen enough of that.
Also, I have the views back from that
What,
because
Tetris 99?
that's mean and terrible. That is not a good joke. I frown upon you, good sir. But last Friday
It's a
we
problem.
we
That
played-
game is still a problem.
I haven't played it since, and that's my problem. But we played last Friday Tetris 99, Crackdown 3,
Jump Force.
And we played some Smash with KZ. Hey, Bob, remember how I kept saying I want to check out Crackdown, but no one's interested?
Yeah.
Well, now that we've split up the entire stream and re-uploaded all of it, yeah, it has like half the views of the next closest one.
I
Because
think that
no one
game
gives a
might be
shit.
suffering worse because it wasn't a tire fire.
You might be right. It's just a bunch. It's a
It
bunch
lost because it's just mid.
of. It's just a bunch of people being like, it's not as good as it should be.
I forget who said this, but somebody told me once the opposite of love isn't hate, it's ambivalence.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel towards Crackdown 3.
Yeah.
I think that's the Sonic Forces take that most people had.
I don't know. Sonic Forces was enough of a trash fire for me to hate it.
But if you want more Sonic opinions from Bob, please look forward to KZ Excellent Sonic Month that he has to do after the Mighty Number 9 review comes out, which is totally happening. Mr. Feel, what have you been playing since last week?
So I decided that I would try to play 2 things every week that was different.
Oh, okay.
And one would be from my colossally massive backlog.
There you
'Cause I
go.
own like 800 games on Steam.
I feel like I'm a positive influence now.
And one would be a new one. But the first one, the one I played for my backlog is Slime Rancher.
Oh,
I
nice.
heard a lot
It
about
is
that.
a slime raising game. Like you have these little Ragnarok Online-esque slimes. They're cuter than Dragon Quest slimes, say.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all sorts of little different ones. And you harvest their sheddings, I guess they are. And then sell those for money. And it's not great.
Oh, yeah.
Like, presentation-wise, it's fantastic. It looks really nice, and I really like that you interact with everything through your vacuum gun.
Mm-hmm.
But it has the problem a lot of these games have, where in any game like this, you need a short-term goal and a long-term goal.
Oh, this only has a short term.
It doesn't even have that.
What?
It's like you can do things, but it doesn't, like, tell you, do this.
Okay.
But, like, you need a long-term goal, and then your short-term goals teach you how to work to the long-term goal.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, as an example, Stardew Valley does really well with how it sets up your progression.
Once again, I need to ask because I've forgotten. Mr. Veal, have you played Harvest Moon?
I've played a couple of them.
I think you said the 64 was your favorite?
That was the one I played the most. I played like 80 hours, but that was 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since the N64.
And I do intend to hunt down the PSP one that's just an upgraded port of the PlayStation 1 one.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What was the name of that? Back to something?
Back to Nature.
Back to Nature?
Back to Nature, yeah, but it's called like Harvest Moon Boy and Girl on PSP.
Speaking of which,
girl.
Boy and girl.
Harvest Moon, egg, beef.
I forgot.
I also think one of the Story of Seasons games is apparently really good, but those are all on the 3DS, and I refuse.
Like last week,
Why?
or
What's wrong with the 3DS?
Do we need to have this conversation every time?
It's decaying in the fucking dumpster. That's where
the Story of Season games, as far as I saw, would run really bad too. Because of the 3DS.
They're like 10 frames per second. It's real rough.
And then whoever owns the name Harvest Moon hired a mobile developer to just make shovelware with the name Harvest Moon on it because they still own that name.
I'm furious. I'm livid.
Absolutely fuming.
I think it was the last podcast or the one before, but we couldn't remember the name of Innocent Life, which was the Android one.
Yeah, it was Innocent Life. I looked that up later. It's Innocent Life of Futuristic Harvest Moon.
Let me tell you about the life of Dan video games. I got a decent
I already
decent
know
night's
isn't
rest.
Related to
No, I got a decent night's rest and just fucking listened to that podcast and went, "It's Innocent Life, you dumb bastards. Damn it. Why can't I sleep before these?"
You have to give yourself a debuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, our premonitions here on the Big Think Dimension are too good. For example, the tweet we got today where it was someone in awe that we predicted exactly how the Dead or Alive 6 reception from the media would go, where it was like, our game's not going to be sexually exploitatious because it's more mature. And then right before the game comes out, there's going to be like some ridiculous video showing off the features in America. And it'll just have this real dissonance.
Who were they fucking playing here?
I don't know. I don't know why they thought this was a good marketing strategy. It's just going to blow up in their face because they're making the game they're making. I don't know, man.
Maybe every time they just early in development, they really are going to do it. And then they realize how dumb that is.
And then some fucking 80-year-old man shareholder kicks down the door and he's like, "What are you doing with my perv game?" I thought we'd modernize it. What the fuck is wrong with you? I want to see some titties. And then they put the titties back in.
Time for a horrifying thing.
Oh no.
Saiichi Ishii, the director/game designer for The Bouncer, was the supervising programmer on Innocent Life of Futuristic Harvest Moon.
Dan wins. Both of these are perfect games.
It all adds up.
It keeps coming back to The Bouncer.
So with Slime, you said it was Slime Rancher, right?
Yeah, Slime Rancher.
With that, I heard there's a real problem where even what you're doing gets super monotonous and repetitive. Is that the case?
I figured out how you make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, okay, what do I do now? What do I do with this money beyond just make more money?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will get on your game progression treadmill, but you have to like put potted plants on the sides and try to trick me and make me think that I'm walking somewhere.
Right. Like you have to be like, hey, you're just farming to survive, and then after that, it's like, or have a wife, and then after that, it's like, now you have a baby, deal with it.
Like Stardew Valley is like, you fill out there's a derelict town hall that has little dwarfs living in it, and if you give them all the stuff that's on a board, they fix part of the town hall and give you like a general upgrade, like one unlocks fast travel.
Hey Bob.
What's up, man?
I like that game more when it was called Harvest Moon.
Dan, stop. He's trying to explain stuff about other games using this game. It's fine. People have played that game.
And then and the goal is to finish it all. And some of the boards are you can do immediately, and some you have to build up to. And like one is give them monster items, so you have to go to the mine to kill monsters, which will get you, bronze and iron and materials to make new tools and stuff. So it gives you like a route.
A reason.
But
yeah, a route.
Slime Rancher gives you nothing.
That's really unfortunate because, like, as you were saying, its presentation seems good, but like, you need more than that.
It feels aimless in the same sense that Minecraft feels aimless. Because yes, Minecraft technically has a goal that they added so they could call it final, but there's not really like a goal.
And Slime Rancher's out of the early access, right?
Yeah, that's why I bought it. I wouldn't have bought it while it was in early access.
Okay.
I've heard about that game for like 4 years, maybe.
Yeah, it's been about 4. Man, you know what I need to try before the next podcast? I don't know if I'm going to go around to it, but Golf Story.
Oh yeah, that's a nice game. I played it. I didn't finish it. I got to the end though.
Okay, yeah, I need to check that out because I actually really love Mario Golf on the Game Boy Color. You might note that this is a very specific version of that game that I am complimenting and saying I enjoy.
Oh no.
The reason is that the single player has cool RPG mechanics, and as I understand it, Golf Story does as well.
It kind of does, but I think you're either gonna hate it or like it a lot. There's not gonna be a middle ground.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, keep in mind, I'm also one of the most positive people about the Mario Tennis that came out on the Switch.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, but it's the gameplay is fine, but like it's a quirky game, and it's constantly giving you jokes, and if you don't think those jokes are funny, the game drowns.
Nah. You can have jokes in a thing, and I won't hate you for it not being funny. Just don't be Borderlands.
Anyway, the other thing I played was because Todd Howard always wins. I played Skyrim, sort of. The total conversion mod for Skyrim called Enderal came out on Steam, and it's if you own Skyrim, it's a one-click install.
Nice. So what does it do?
It completely changes Skyrim into a completely different game.
Oh.
So we talking like Zone of the Enders 2, or?
I'm talking like the menus are different, the map is entirely different, all the skill systems are different, everything is completely different.
How good is it?
It's like what Skyrim should have been the free mod, and Enderal should have been what cost $60 and sold 40 million copies. The very first quest I didn't involve going into a crypt and fighting zombies. It involved like talking to people and exploring.
Like an RPG?
Yeah, I cannot express how delighted I was when I killed my first enemy and it said, you got this much experience, this much to level up, and is not a weird skill-based thing.
Huh.
But the big thing I'm not going to talk about the story. It's just you're chosen one who shows up in place. Now go do open world things. But all of the areas are well designed and make sense. There's a lot of dialogue options. They have solutions to almost every problem I have with Skyrim. They aren't always elegant solutions, but they're solutions. Like in Skyrim, there's no reason to talk to fucking anybody ever unless they're giving you a quest.
Right.
In Enderal, you can get knowledge from them by asking them about, the surrounding area. And every time you get so much knowledge, you get a stat buff.
So
your brain gets big.
Is it mostly text delivery for stuff like that, or is it
It's
spoken?
full voice acted. This conversion is fully voice acted.
Oh, nice. So you get to ask them about if they know about the 4 Voodoo. Do you also ask them if they can help you find some sailors?
No, it sounds all right.
Oh, you don't get to play Lucky Strike?
No.
This is the bar. I want a mod that turns Skyrim into Shenmue.
I would play it. That would get me to play Skyrim.
That would get me to play Skyrim and Shenmue.
They included items that do things if you collect enough of them, so you want to explore.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really well designed because they're both distinct colors that nothing else in the game are. So you can see them from pretty far away.
Okay.
And they do things that aren't disposable. Like one is an herb that increases your maximum carrying capacity forever. So you always want to go get that if you see it.
Oh, okay. So there are multiple of that item. It's not just a single.
Yeah, it's not just a single use.
Okay.
And there's also like these big Quake-looking magical orbs floating in places, and I don't know what they do yet because I don't have enough of them.
How do you spell Enderal?
Enderal, I believe.
Okay. I'm interested in this.
They did and this one is this is in the same universe as their previous full conversion mod, which they did for Oblivion called Nerum, which I never actually played. but I probably will after I finish with this. The only complaint, because I'm a big fucking baby who needs his milk, is it not having fast travel between locations that you visited is a little irritating. And that's purely me being a spoiled modern gamer who plays bad games that let you teleport.
I don't know. There's a benefit to both sides. Like there's
Centrist.
Yeah, we need to hear out both sides of this issue.
Think it's really been more of an issue in the intro because you're confined to, well, not confined, you can go wherever the hell you want, but the first chunk of the story takes place in like a rather small section of the map, and you don't have access to being able to buy teleport scrolls or use the equivalent of the Silt Striders. Like there's like bird dragons you can rent and they'll fly you to other locations, and you can't do either of those in like the opening couple hours of the game. So I imagine if that wasn't the case, it would probably be better.
Well, see, you're spending the opening hours of the game getting immersed. That's why.
I'm going to say that it's baffling that Bethesda is not funding things like this. They could have paid for this, released it as like a $20 DLC for Skyrim, and made like $50 million. Easy.
That seems a little unneeded when they have Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't need anything else. But like this is the kind of thing in my mind is the sensible version of paid mods, where it's like, hey, you made a really great mod. Let us give you professional assistance in polishing it and making sure it's compatible with our game.
If only they had anyone there who could do that.
And it's like we have an infinite amount of DLC coming out for this game, and we can monetize it forever. And then that didn't happen.
But that sounds less evil.
That sounds like a good idea that would add value to their game and maybe even let them find new employees to give jobs to.
You know what's an even better idea, and Bethesda did it long before your sissy little rant about how they should run their company? Playing some mods and outright fucking stealing them. Do you guys fucking remember that?
Yeah, that happened in... first of all, like, the entire base building mechanic in Fallout 4 was stolen from a mod.
Yep.
Classy. Todd wouldn't do that.
And then an entire quest in one of the DLCs was stolen from a mod.
Yeah, no, that was unreal. Oh my god.
But it's just like, if they're going to ride these games forever, this seems like...
the way to do it sustainably, the way to turn it into an actual evergreen product? Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. You're right. It would be great if they actually added some way to build out the value of this, kind of like Minecraft, because Minecraft just adds these, like, here's a graphics update that you can get optionally. Here's, like, all these packs that you can enhance it with. That's ideally what you would be doing with Skyrim if you wanted it to sell forever. But they don't have to do that, is what the gaming market has taught them. And they're about to hit the end of...
Well, maybe Fallout 76 taught them a little bit.
No.
Different.
No, what Fallout 76 taught them is, hey, we sure can't make a mod for our own game to turn it into a multiplayer game hastily and have it launch successfully.
It was a valuable lesson.
Anyway, those are the two things I played this week. I didn't play anything else except Smash, but that's every week.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and talk about what I played in the last week. I played one game outside of that Friday live stream.
Pong?
Castlevania the Adventure for the Game Boy. Now, for those who don't know, and maybe you played it and you just forgot or never noticed, that thing fucking sucks. That game is awful. It's goddamn trash.
Wow.
If most Castlevania games were as bad as that, I would not have played more than 2 Castlevania games. It is so fucking terrible. It's a Game Boy game with nonstop screen tearing. The whole thing can't run at full speed at any point in time. The first level is so boring. It's like if you put 4 Walmart parking lots back to back to back to back, and you had to walk slowly from one end to the other. The thing is fucking trash.
Dan, why didn't you just play 2?
Because I've never beaten Castlevania the Adventure.
Okay,
and I needed to practice for Castlemania, which is going to be...
what's incredible is that on original hardware, it's even worse because the screen constantly ghosts and you can't see shit.
Yeah.
Is it at least raw?
No,
No.
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 Not even Dracula himself is raw. That's the true tragedy. In fact,
But that WiiWare remake is incredible.
the WiiWare remake is so much better
Raw.
than this, which isn't hard. But seriously, this game runs, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm really not exaggerating here. This game runs at about 12 frames per second with constant screen tearing. And if you have 2 enemies and 3 candles on the screen, it will slow down to 8 frames per second. It is that's fucking
incredible.
bad. And it's not like it runs choppier, it just slows down. So if you got 2 of those sock puppet motherfucking looking enemies that shoot circles out of their faces on screen at once with 3 candles active, you're just gonna be walking slow as fuck, motherfucker.
Did you beat it?
Yes, it took me 50 fucking minutes to beat the last goddamn level because it's such a piece of shit.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the whole game.
No, it's
that's how long it probably should have taken.
yeah. If it was running at a normal speed, it probably would have taken 50 minutes. But yeah, no, the whole thing runs in slow motion. It's real terrible. The successor to that, as Bob was mentioning, Castlevania the Adventure 2, what was it, Belmont's Revenge, is fucking exceptional. It not only has like one of the best soundtracks in the series, like, and this is a storied franchise with a lot of amazing music. It has some really good songs. It runs properly. It has, oh yeah, something else about Castlevania the Adventure: no sub weapons.
What?
No sub weapons. There's
Game
no.
Boy can't handle that.
The next game had sub weapons. What else? What else is bad about this game? Every boss is fucking lame. Dracula is the most laughable he's ever been, and that includes Castlevania the Adventure Rebirth, where he sounds like a fucking cheetah. I'll take that Dracula over the Dracula in this. Yeah, that is the exact sound. Thank you. That was a very convincing Dracula
Is
impersonation.
his name Chester? Does he have cheese puffs?
Yes.
I seem to recall that some version of Castlevania 1 Dracula has like the most laughable looking sprite for his second form. But I can't remember which version of it is.
I'm not. So in Castlevania the Adventure on Game Boy, when you get to Dracula, there are some platforms spread about his room, pretty familiar sounding. And he appears on a platform and he opens up his cape and shoots tiny circles in either a diagonal pattern of upper left, upper right, lower left, lower right, or straights, up, down, left, right. And he just alternates doing that, and then he disappears and he reappears somewhere else. That's the first form, its entire attack pattern, its entire look. And these circles don't look cool at all. So you kill that, and it's just like, oh, okay, I killed Dracula, because he literally explodes. Like, it's like, and there's like a fire effect, right? And then at a completely different spot on screen, a giant bat spawns, and it spawned in me the first time I beat the first form, and I was so fucking pissed. By the way, the floor is lined with spikes.
Because of course.
Because of course.
That's great.
Oh man,
You know.
this commits one of the worst fucking sins of a fucking platformer. Okay, so you know that situation comes up in a lot of games. You're standing on a platform, there are spikes right next to the platform on the ground, the exact same height as the platform, okay?
So if you take one fraction of a step, you just collapse dead.
Yep. And they want you to do very careful jumps off of that exact setup. They want you to do the longest jump you can possibly do, and you can't go over halfway off of the ground, because even though any other ground, you wouldn't fall over halfway off of it. The way they processed collision, you're now mostly on the spike, so you're fucking dead. Ignore that your foot is still on solid ground. You're fucking dead.
No, you're dead. I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
You dove headfirst into those spikes. You love them.
You bought a Game Boy, you fucking stooge, you goddamn ignoramus.
I'm sure that this is just because this is super early, right, Dan? This is like...
Castlevania the Adventure is really, really, really early on the Game Boy. It came out in 1989. It's fucking ancient. It came out in 1989 even in North America. So it is one of the first Game Boy games.
How far after Mario Land?
Well, Mario Land was a launch title, so...
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing, though. You can't really compare Nintendo's first-party output to third parties, because Nintendo had enough time, especially like R&D 1, they had enough time to ruminate on how shitty the screen was and various other elements of the hardware. I mean, shit, man. It's fucking screen tearing constantly. Also, there are no stairs. There are ropes, which take forever to climb. It is so bad. This game only has 4 levels. The fourth level took me 50 minutes. The third level took me half an hour, basically, because the third level is a nonstop spike ceiling is coming down. Better hurry up and crouch at just the right moment. Oh, spike floors coming up. You better crawl up these ropes and jump at just the right moment to jump off of that and whip at just the right moment in order to kill this thing to get to the next rope to jump off of it at just the right moment. And then once you do both of those back to back, Bob, it then becomes, now it's a spike wall, so you got to run away and walk in S-shaped floor patterns really quickly and avoid the spike wall that's coming right for you. And that's all the entire level was. There's nothing more to that level.
This sucks.
Yeah, no, it's fucking trash.
Why'd you play this?
Because I needed to have beaten it, KZ, because I am a huge Castlevania fan and I needed to be prepared for Castlevania month. And I'm going to be honest, I may not be able to beat this game during Castlevania. It made me angrier than any game that isn't Overwatch has ever made me. I felt like snapping that controller in half. I felt like inventing fucking curse words to say. I felt like condemning humanity based on this one game.
Wow, damn.
So that's what I played.
You turned into Chris Bores for a moment.
So that's what I played in the last week. Never say that again. But what have you played in the last week, KZ?
I continued playing the new Far Cry game, Far Cry New Dawn, in an attempt to beat it. I have not yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm very close because that's like a mid-tier game. So
Sorry.
can't
One
make it
last
really long.
very important note. Very important, and then I'll hand it back to you, KZ.
Of course.
I didn't even play the original version. I played the Game Boy Color reconversion done by Konami officially called the Konami Collection Volume 1, and it still ran like fucking shit. And the first level tries with its color palettes. It looked really nice, and then every other level's like, fuck you, purple. Everything's purple.
Did you
So bad.
did you play maybe the original version runs better?
No, it runs exactly the same. I can say this from I've played it emulated, I've played it on the Game Boy Player, I've played it on multiple real Game Boys. This game just runs like fucking dog shit and always has. It's terrible. Fuck this game. KZ, I heard you played Far Cry New Dawn, and for once I'm envious of someone who played Far Cry. Please tell me all about it.
So I continued playing Far Cry New Dawn, and it's not too long. From what the mission menu thing said, I have like 3 left to do. I think I have a good feel of what the story of that game is. Not very good in the story department. I've never felt less threatened by antagonists before.
But female antagonists,
Like,
it's breaking new ground.
They suck. They suck so bad. I think one of the last missions involved like, we've kidnapped a character, so you just have to walk in there with no weapons. And that's how they become threatening.
What if I don't give a shit about that character?
Well, then all this would fall apart. But thankfully, I got myself out of there, because for some reason, 40% of the way in this game, they started layering in the stuff from the recent Far Cry game. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the game's story, so I don't know if people want to like skip forward a couple of minutes.
Yeah, if you guys want
Yeah,
to skip forward.
I'm sure there are thousands of people.
On the off chance.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and edit in what time you guys need to skip to. Skip to 52:45. Go ahead, Casey.
So we know at the end of the previous Far Cry game, there was like the weird cult, like southern dude who like he ended the game because there's like a nuke that went off.
Yeah.
And he like was hiding in a shelter with the main character. So he's in this game.
Oh.
And like he's in his own little area, and then you have to go find him, and then he takes you on a spiritual journey where you have to do like puzzles with like
fucking
light symbols matching up, and then you get superpowers.
What? Wait.
What?
Excuse me?
When you finish his thing, you have a boss fight against a magic bear, and then you go and start fighting it. And I believe it ends with a fist fight where it teleports and you have to punch it in its magic center tummy. And then you start getting that's when you unlock your Far Cry Devil Trigger.
What does your Far Cry Devil Trigger give you?
It makes you punch really hard, and it has some stuff like your jumps better and stuff. But in cutscenes, you're like chained up to something. They have you handcuffed, suspended on like a
Do you
pole.
do you do the fucking Arkham City shit where you shatter the handcuffs because you're so full of bear power?
Like he immediately starts like making fists, and you see like pinkish smoke coming out of the chains. You break out, you fuck up one of the villains and like knock them out easily, and then you take a shot to the face, and it only knocks you out for like one cutscene.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that this is the direction Far Cry needs to go in.
I gotta ask, did that happen at all? Anything like that in Far Cry 5? I know there were the spiritual moments, but
Nobody ever. I would have heard about superpowers.
Yeah, you would have. I would have heard about superpowers too. I was just asking to be sure because
I feel like they feel like they're okay with doing this because they just like
because it's a spinoff.
Yeah, it's like they're treating it like a spinoff. Like
thank God we can not be boring as shit. It's a spinoff, and yet even still,
but it's a direct sequel to the last one.
Yeah,
right?
it gets a little
it's
weird
not
because
like Blood Dragon where it's a joke.
Well, it gets a little weird here because now the cultist apparently did have crazy spiritual powers. Like,
yeah, because he takes you on this journey, and
maybe he's just like secretly making you chug nuclear waste, and you're a mutant now. You're a fucking X-Man.
So when you go meet him, he takes you in this very linear. It's the crazy mission of this game, where it's mostly dark. They use a lot of pink fire everywhere, and you try to like make his like cult's logo by holding a piece of it and then going around the map to try and line up geometry to make it look like his logo. And then at the end there's like a boss fight and stuff, and he is basically a good guy in this game because his faction begins helping you against the Highwaymen, which are the antagonists of this game.
This sounds really stupid.
yeah.
The superpowers part sounds raw, but not this part.
He says he's like, God told me you were gonna come to me, and he treats you like the chosen one by God.
Wow.
What?
It's
like this guy nuked the world.
No.
Right?
No, he didn't.
By the way, this is when I checked out in the story because I'm like, what is happening?
No, he didn't actually have the nuke, as far as I know, in Far Cry 5. That's just a thing that happened. It was like, what a twist. You didn't know because you're up in the mountains.
He was a doomsday cult guy, and by coincidence, he was right. That's the story.
Yeah, the nukes go off. You didn't know because you don't have radio contact with the outside world. You didn't know that the war had escalated. Yeah.
They needed the superpower thing because they build a situation where they're like, okay, you're gonna handcuff yourself here so we can talk to you, and if you don't cooperate, we'll kill your best guy who they had captured. I handcuff myself, they immediately kill the guy, and then I'm at this moment where it's a good thing I have these superpowers, or else the plot would have to stop.
I don't get this fucking trend of like, you're a personality-free cipher for the player, but also care about this NPC, please.
Yes. Yeah, that's... The gameplay also has been okay. I find it really, like, going through the motions where they have all the outposts that you do in every Far Cry game of go
And
here, try not
Assassin's
set off the
Creed.
alarms. Yeah, and the Assassin's
And Watch
Creed. where
Dogs.
They're all the fucking same.
you don't want to set off alarms.
Ghost
And
Recon.
when you beat it, you get the currency in this game, which is ethanol. And you use that to upgrade various aspects of your home base. But you can go to these outposts and then get more ethanol by just letting the bad guys take it over again, spawning directly next to the outpost, and then refighting it again for more.
Oh my god. That sounds...
So I just did that and got all the way to level 3 on basically all of them until you get to the really hard one where they put really good guys around everywhere and just put like 6 alarms or something. One thing that I think is, I guess, clever with the alarms, because I think there's only 3 at most. They move them. So when you load the checkpoint, if you failed it, they just randomly pick where it's going to be so that you can't like learn.
You can't save scum it.
Yeah, they basically make it so that when you try again, you're like, okay, well, this time I know where that one is and I can help like create a route for myself. No, you can't do that unless you like finally get the one that you're used to. But overall, the gameplay is acceptable, but everything else is just either really amateurish, weird, and those subtitles are still making me mad. They're still like 10 fucking seconds off.
It's a pretty Ubisoft thing to do.
I mean, this just sounds like you described a blank white box that says Ubisoft on it.
Right?
I mean, he's not wrong.
I'm sorry, it's a pink box that says Ubisoft on it. Thank you.
Oh
Completely
yeah,
different.
they saw Rage and was like, how do we spice up this bad spinoff we're making? And I just put pink in it. Those press sneak fucks will say it's fucking for women or some shit.
Press
Morons.
sneak fucks.
Okay.
KZ, I have one thing I need to say real quick.
Sure, what's up?
About what you were talking about. Something in what I was talking about. The game slows down, so the music slows down, so it's ruining the good music that's in Castlevania the Adventure. It's so fucking bad. Okay, now I've literally said everything I have to say about Castlevania the Adventure. Did you have anything else to
Okay,
say?
so you
though?
reminded me of something else that upsets me about this game.
Oh, okay.
Where you reach a point, and I guess this is the problem with open world games, where they want you to do certain activities, but they don't know how to integrate them into the plot very well. So what they've done is I'm going through the main story, and they said, okay, level up your base by finding people around the map. Go. Do these now. They're main missions, I guess. So I just have to go and do these side quests that they say are main quests, but it's just because they have a little bit more work put into them. However, one of the people that I got as a helper is a large boar/pig named Horatio, and I think he's pretty good. He's huge and thick.
I met a pig today, so that was neat. I met a pair of pigs.
Yeah.
That was a nice thing that happened.
I have questions, but I feel like if I ask them,
I went to talk to somebody about getting my dog's nails clipped, and they're out in the country, and they had 2 huge pigs just as pets in their yard.
yeah.
And they came up and said hi.
I gotta ask, was their yard real fucked up because of that? Because pigs love fucking up
Yes.
yards. Yeah, yeah.
And I had a protein bar in my pocket, and they wanted it, so I gave it to them, and they ate the wrapper too.
I actually, for very short periods of my life, lived on a farm twice. So yeah, no, pigs are like that. You don't get to have a nice yard if you have pigs.
It's a good thing you moved off that farm, or else you would lose the ability to tell the difference between 3 and 8.
Yep, saw that coming.
You can crack eggs, too.
You only saw it coming because it wasn't in color.
Every
But yeah, I'm
normal
gonna
person
finish.
listening to this is just like, what is going on? What's up, KZ? You're gonna finish?
I'm going to end up finishing the game by the end of the next podcast, where I can tell you if the ending made the game worth it. That ending's probably going to make me upset because it's already like clown shoes as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But that might make it worse. I did want to mention this on the podcast. I had mentioned to you that I had some technical problems the last couple of days,
Yeah, what's up, KZ?
which seemed pretty on brand for what you deal with. So
Share your hurt.
I'm editing the rest of the Kingdom Hearts 3 Let's Play, where it's my first playthrough, and ideally I would like to make sure that none of that footage ever has anything bad happen to it. So I was grabbing the last 2 hours or 3 hours of it, and I couldn't... The way Elgato works is you'll record something with it, and it makes it into a TS file, which I've never heard of before. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Some cameras back in the day used to record into that. And it was fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's what the raw recordings are for
Nice.
Elgato stuff. And then you have to go into a menu and hit an MP4 button, and then it just it spends 15 minutes creating that, and then you can then use that with different editors.
That sounds like a nightmare.
I did that, and I pressed the button, and since I had done it once before, I decided I didn't want to do it again.
Oh.
It just went. We did it once. Also, it couldn't read the video, and I went, "Oh, this is a problem. I can't lose this." I tried different converters, but just like throwing the video into different programs to see, hey, can you spit this out? And they said this will take 63 hours, and I said, no, I can't do that. And after 5 hours last night, right after we did our usual thing, I decided that I'm just gonna upload this TS file to YouTube, and because that's my only option now is to do that and then rip it from there. And I did that, and the video file was 64 gigabytes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because it's the source video for the thing, which is maxed out
Hey,
quality
KZ.
and everything. Yeah.
KZ. If you're interested, I may actually have a solution.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to say it on the podcast, so my effort could be in vain. So I did that, and I woke up this afternoon ready to download it because I knew it'd be all ready, and it was a good way to see what gets hit by copyright. Not much. I went to go download it, and every site you download YouTube videos off of is like, you want this in 720p 30? I'm like, no, I just left that era. We can't do this again.
You're like, not now.
I can't let the climax of the Let's Play suddenly drop down in quality that large.
It couldn't handle all the Kino.
And then they're like, well, we can give you the video, but it will be no audio, but we can give you the 1080-60 of the source.
Oh my god.
And this was
Did you
after
download it twice?
So what I did was, at first I downloaded it through YouTube itself because they have that option, 720-30.
Yep.
Didn't give me the source.
Nope.
So I tried downloading it 1080-60 video only, and I would just edit in the audio from, the 720-30 and just mix them together. It takes 3.5 hours to download this. When it's done, I load it into Vegas and it says this video is 2 milliseconds long.
What?
And I go, how? I check the video. It's not 2 milliseconds. It's the full video. Vegas just doesn't know what to do with it.
Oh my god.
And I finally found a program that's just like 4K YouTube or some shit that converted it. And it lost a little bit of quality on the most intense visual stuff, but it's nothing that makes me go, ew. So I dealt with it.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is I spent 12 hours trying to save one fucking video file.
I've been there, yeah. We used to have this thing, I think I've described it before, but I'll do it again. In the early days of GigaBoots, we used a Blackmagic Intensity Shuttle, which is a USB 3.0 external capture card made by Blackmagic.
Yep.
Now, we use Blackmagic cameras nowadays, and their cameras are great, though I hear the quality assurance is bad, and some people may get bad cameras, but we've never experienced it. That capture card was a fucking bear to deal with, and it wanted you to use official software that was another bear to deal with. And sometimes we would record a 40-minute quick play, hit the stop recording button, and it would go boo-doo, and that's how you know you lost all of it.
The good old days, then.
Oh man, I miss the early days of YouTube where I wanted to fucking die even more.
Is this the era of, okay, Bob, it made the wrong sound when I hit the button. Let's record that hour-and-a-half video again.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it wasn't just Bob, it was Dr. Aggro.
Yeah,
So it's like,
Aggro's
let's
there.
do Trine 2's quick play for a third time. By the third time, we stopped engaging with any of the game's text and we're just shouting at it, and fuck you is every other sentence because we're so mad.
Making references to the old recordings that no one
Yes.
saw.
That video is rife with that, where I'm like, what was it? I think it was Aggro was like, now in the first play, we found this pretty charming, and it was great. And in the second play, we dealt with it.
But we're now on the third try!
Yeah. But nowadays we record into a completely lossless AVI codec. It's called AIM V4. The coolest thing is nowadays I figured out, because you can still run into that problem depending on what software you're using. You can hit stop recording and it'll go, I don't know what happened. And that'll fuck up your AVI if you don't know how to save it. There's another program called Virtual Dub. And if you throw in that AVI that doesn't have the correct information on it, which it's called indexing information, it'll just fucking repair it. And the day I figured that out, I felt like a god. I killed the problems that the past me had, and it felt great.
They were murdered.
Fucking gunned down in the street.
I've never heard someone mention using Virtual Dub for recording or editing or anything since 2010.
Yeah, see, people want to use it to capture video, and that's fucking insane. The thing is awful for that.
Yeah, I saw some people trying to clean stuff up with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do a lot of filters and cool
In
shit.
general, I just remember looking at old Let's Play stuff. Let's Play tech stuff in like 2008 to 2010, just talking about here's what you use with this.
Yeah, for me, I came to Virtual Dub, I think about 2-3 years ago, and the main reason I came to it was for upscaling videos to keep the pixels sharp, because it has a really effective way of doing that. Vegas, if you take a low-res file and throw into Vegas and render it in a high resolution, Vegas does the world's shittiest job of upscaling. I actually have some stuff built onto Vegas nowadays that'll upscale it. It'll set up Vegas in a mode where it doesn't get to fuck anything up. And it'll handle everything. It'll handle the scaling, the encoding, et cetera, et cetera. It's real great. But yeah, I am curious if this program I have would actually work for that situation. So after, it's not Virtual Dub or anything else. I'll send you a link to it after this podcast is done. You can let me know if that works out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was a rough time. All I've learned now is just if I don't have the space, I can't make one video because it might go, oh, we've forgotten how this shit works. Otherwise, it's really good. It's got like flashback recording, which is really helpful.
Yeah.
Other stuff like that. Never had an issue.
Until now.
Until 11 hours of just being able to get a file.
You've never had issues until you got fucking obliterated.
But then...
I never had issues until I met Dan Video Games.
It's like how I bought my mother a new router/modem and set it up for her, and for like 4 days it worked fine. And then she said it doesn't work, and I came over and did everything in the world, and everything in her house would connect to it but would not get internet. And eventually I just changed the channel of the Wi-Fi, and it worked. And it's worked since, and I have no idea why that worked or what the fuck was involved, but it was just...
Hey, we have viewers of the channel who actually do networking for a living, and they recommended our current networking hardware. I'm curious what your theory is on why that would be, because I have no fucking idea. I don't know networking. I go, what good, Unga? And then I buy it.
Dan has many areas of expertise, but networking is one of his blind spots.
Kinda, yeah. I understand it at a basic level, but getting into hyper, like, fine-grained information shit, nah. What was it? Our new wireless router, our Wi-Fi access point, it is powered via the Ethernet cable, so it doesn't need to plug into a wall outlet, and that blew my goddamn mind. I was like, what? The power's going over the Ethernet?
Well, Ethernet can go over the power, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's true.
Where is it on the power scale? Is it like double S?
It's probably triple
Does it have
S.
like some cool Spanish name?
Its power is the level of Jiren.
I'm going to say it's Smoking Six style.
Maybe its power is even at the level of El Hermano.
I was about to say.
Okay, well, with everything we've played covered, right, Casey?
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead
I played with my patience, and I played Far Cry.
I played with God. And then I played Far Cry. We're going to go ahead and move on to news.
We have so much.
We do. We have some pointless pontificating.
Don't forget the Pod Lords, though.
Oh, the Pod Lords!
Oh, how could we forget the Pod Lords?
Jesus Christ!
I love popcorn.
That's going to be 3 whippings tonight I have to give to myself, because for even a second, I forgot about the Pod Lords.
Dan has to be the guy in Castlevania Season 2 just sitting there, smacking his back with the spiked strap.
That's me doing tech research.
That was raw.
Whipping myself. People are like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? I need my videos to look better. The Podlords for this episode of the Big Think Dimension are Danny Richardson, Notgak, Ely Broyles, and Lady Popcorn. Thank you very much to our gracious Podlords.
Thank you, Podlords.
Thanks, Podlords.
KZ, thank
Thank
Pablo.
you, Lord of the Pod.
Thanks, Pablo.
Oh God, KZ, look out, the truck is coming. Oh God, he has Lord Pods in his ears. He can't hear us.
Oh, no!
So I heard there's not much news.
Not much news. I can start winging through them real quick.
Sure, do you have anything you'd like to mock?
That can come later. First, well, no, this is still mocking. I'm gonna mock Steam, because they did some stupid shit for a while, and they're now ceasing doing stupid shit.
What?
And that stupid shit was selling movies and anime.
Oh, they're not
Wait, they're not
doing
doing
that
that
anymore?
We're doing that.
They're fucking aborting that.
Oh, wow.
Where else will I watch Bleach?
It was stupid. It was so stupid. And there was that video of the streamer who got fucking pissed because he went onto Steam and bought The Walking Dead Season 1, the show, instead of the game.
Okay,
And
okay,
that's on
now
him.
I see why it's a problem.
That's totally on him, but that's pretty fucking hilarious.
Like, I'm not gonna go on Steam and buy Toradora,
No, but
which
here,
you could do.
here, check this out. You ready for Maximum Kino?
Yes.
I've actually watched entire panels about how the Steam video delivery system is set up and various systems you can use to leverage that to sell movies or other entertainment on there. I think it was at GDC, but I'm not sure. Anyway, Maximum Kino is you make an indie game that has a tie-in movie, and the bundle for both is cheaper, and you can buy it on Steam. That is what I was waiting for. I'm like, someone has to
I
be...
think those are still going to be allowed.
Someone has to be that way, that far up their ass to make this make maximal sense and be Maximum Kino. For it to be like, the A side of the story is the video game, the B side is the movie.
That's
Is this your pitch for Armchair Devs?
No,
The Bouncer?
no. This is my pitch for if I ever get $1 million.
the
And
bouncer
just
across the quiet man?
yeah, no. It actually, look,
Quantum Break
I've been-
2,
I've
The
been-
Bouncer.
I've been spending some time. I've been spending some time talking to Bob. But let's be real, that's the best part of Quantum Break. But I've been spending some time recently talking to Bob about how great it would be if somebody made, the bouncer with a good combat system, kind of like the Platinum brawlers or even God Hand, like somewhere between Max Anarchy and God Hand would be really cool. So it would be really nice if somebody out there was making an action game that was a brawler. Bob, I believe you said you had someone come into your store the other day and say something. Could you tell them what they said?
Oh,
I
no.
ran into a guy who was like, "Oh man, they just don't make beat 'em up games anymore. I really like classic beat 'em up games like God Hand and The Bouncer."
This is a real story.
That's not real.
That's
This
a real
is-
person.
Okay, I mean, sure.
This is a real
Look,
person.
I have to accept that to 90% of people, The Bouncer and God Hand are exactly as good as each other.
What if the bouncer's better?
No.
Mm,
Hey, Dan, I have to call you out. The best part of Quantum Break is the fact that Eden Gillen is in it, and I can think about that scene from The Dark Knight Rises where he's CIA.
Oh my god, that guy's in it.
I love The Dark Knight Rises. It's raw.
I had no idea that was that guy.
Time to go mobile.
I just see Iceman from fucking X-Men movies.
Well, he's not the main character.
No, I'm saying
Oh, you only see that one.
I'm
actor.
saying
Okay.
that's the only one I saw. Yeah. I'm not saying the bouncer's better than God Hand, but the best parts of playing through Kingdom Hearts 1 are in the bouncer, where
What, Jiminy Cricket?
they're doing 3D graphics for the first time, and this character wants to express that another character, and he wants to smile, so they do an animation, and oh boy, it comes close, but it's that Sora smile
You're
all over again.
You're such a mess.
It's great.
Let's move on through news. Heroes of Newerth is just fucking dead.
What
Oh.
even is
Shit's
that?
gone.
What's
It was a well, that it fucking says it all, doesn't it?
I don't know. Bob's pretty out of touch. Hey, Bob, dab.
It was
Sure,
it was
here we
the
go.
first major competitor for League of Legends, like before Valve just made Dota 2 official,
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
and it's no longer a rival because it's a corpse.
Yeah, I kind of got ghosted when Dota 2 became real. Ugh.
Even Blizzard couldn't crack into that market. They shot Heroes of the Storm to death last year.
At least it's still playable. It's just not going to be supported in a competitive sense. So maybe.
I mean, fuck supporting it in a competitive sense, personally, but like, are they adding more characters?
yeah, that's a real
That's,
question.
that's all I care about for Heroes, because we still don't have Blackthorn. What the fuck?
They had to add their OC.
Anyway, time to mock Fallout. So Fallout 76 can't stop.
It's never going to stop being a part of our news segment.
They banned a player who had 900 hours played because their automated shit assumed he was duping.
That's well, they unbanned him, right?
No, as of now, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Still?
No,
How?
because they don't know what I guarantee they're like, how do we unban someone?
Probably right.
We can't delete the IP address out of this notepad document.
They delete them from the internet.
So basically, he played so much and accumulated so much stuff and was trading ammo between his main and his ult because they have different builds, because that game has builds. And he was like, man, I really like this game. I like playing all kinds of different characters, and then they banned him.
New Skyrim game comes out. If you make more than one save file, it bans you.
Todd Howard comes to your house and fucking shoots you. He has to use a gun because he's only 5'3".
Hey, don't bully him. We don't bully people's height
I
here.
like the idea that you can only play one character per copy of Skyrim you buy.
Well, that's fine because every character can do everything in that game.
That's true.
And from moving on from Fallout, let's mock Anthem a little bit.
Every week.
It's like a stand-up bit.
Until it disappears one day.
You know how like in an MMO or maybe Destiny, you get some new equipment and you can immediately equip it and then test it out or see how it looks or whatever like that?
Yeah, that's typical for RPGs like everyone ever made.
You can't do that in Anthem. You have to go through 4 loading screens to test out any new equipment.
Like, just to even see if the stats match up. Like, how it is statistically.
I think you might be able to see stats, but since it's a shooter and weapons feel different,
Yeah.
you have to actually physically feel it. And you have to, so like if you find a new gun you want to try out in a mission, you have to go back to town, go to the equip zone, equip it, leave the equip zone, leave the town.
Beautiful.
And then you can try it out. And it takes like 4.5 minutes.
That's miserable.
Yeah.
Here's the funny part. They stole this from Warframe.
What?
In Warframe, but here's the difference. In Warframe, you can only change gear on your ship, but you craft everything in Warframe, so you'll never get gear unless you're already on your ship.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
So they just stole how something works from another game, not considering how their game was different. And also, Warframe has like 15-second load screens, not 3.5 minutes.
I saw those load comparisons.
Yeah. Sonic 06 on PS3 with some of the worst load times in history compared to Anthem, and Anthem lost by like 70 seconds.
Yup.
Yeah, I saw other comparisons where it's like, 5 minutes of mission, 6 minutes of loading for mission.
Yeah, Angry Joe went off on Twitter because he had been playing the game for a while, and he said, and he looked at his footage and was like, I was in loading screens more than I was the game.
That's really bad. Jesus Christ.
It's insane.
Pretty much everyone's going, this isn't good.
Apparently there's some old Origin bug where it would just eat all your CPU, but you could fix it by opening a specific tab of Origin and leaving that open while you ran the game. And that's an Anthem. They didn't fix this multiple-year-old bug.
Why? On PS4, you have to open a web browser.
Dan, was it you with the theory that they released Apex Legends just so this quarter wasn't a fucking war crime?
Right, yeah. I think they're staving off the hostile takeover.
I absolutely think that's the case.
Yeah. They
What a shame.
No.
KZ, you want to talk about Doug Bowser before we talk about Nintendo stuff? Because there's a little bit of Nintendo stuff.
Oh, yeah. So they're switching out CEOs for Nintendo of America.
They did the intro video for the new guy, and he went, "Hello, I'm the CEO."
Yes, turns out it's Doug Walker. He's now CEO of Nintendo of America.
Get your guns ready.
The Legend of Zelda Suburban Nights coming this fall.
I'm going to kill myself.
Ugh.
It's a bold new direction for the series.
But yeah, Reggie is stepping down, and in his place
He's retiring. It's not like he's switching to another job. He's retiring.
Which is kind of surprising, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not really surprised because Reggie always had like this vibe of like he's really good at his job and works really hard, but also he's not his job. That's how he always came off to me. So him retiring relatively young, because I think he's only like 56, 57, is not surprising at all.
Yeah, I feel like they did a lot of heartfelt things here. I don't think he's going to like just show up as a Microsoft or Sony exec later, like all those Sony execs did.
No, they said retiring.
That's never how it works. The only guy that was ever like that, Bob, was what's it?
Spencer.
Phil Spencer. No, wait, what? No.
Peter
that guy,
Moore
not
well,
Phil Spencer.
I mean, here's the thing though. You're talking about people jumping from Microsoft to EA and vice versa, right?
Phil Harrison.
Phil Harrison was the only one who jumped from Sony to Microsoft and then got ghosted. What the fuck, man?
I don't know.
Woo.
Dude, he's gone.
Really?
Yeah, he stopped working there years ago. I think when Phil Spencer got control, he just...
Phil Spencer had to exercise the evil that fucked over Phantom Dust and Scalebound.
No, this was pre that. I think this guy was a part of the spirit to get games on the platform because he was an important figure in the PS3 generation for Sony. So it was a lot of new IPs, a lot of third parties coming on to make exclusives, that sort of thing. You know, that thing Microsoft was doing at the beginning of this gen and then just completely shit the bed on halfway through. But yeah, no, Phil Harrison's gone. Anyway.
So yeah, Reggie is retiring, being replaced by Doug Bowser, a man who worked at Nintendo for I think a year or two now, because I remember when he was first introduced.
He's been there since at least 2015. I don't know if he worked there before then.
I remember the first image I saw of him years ago, which was him saying hello, and behind him were two plushies of Mario and Luigi being tied together with a GameCube controller. You know, because it's Doug Bowser.
I like it. But yeah, Bob, Phil Harrison left Microsoft Game Studios in 2015, and he hasn't shown up anywhere since. For those who haven't kept track of him, Sony Computer Entertainment, and then he effectively left there to go to Atari, and then Atari'd. So then he left there to go to Gaikai.
Oh God, he was at Gaikai.
He was at Gaikai for a bit, and then he went over after
fucking sailors of the. God, fucking on Davy Jones's ship over here.
I was wondering where the fuck you were going with that. Oh man, sailors.
After Sony bought Gaikai, he went over to Microsoft, and then he ended up getting the position of corporate vice president at Microsoft. And then the Phil Spencer shakeup happened, and he left 4 years ago. Weird. He left 4 years ago, and now there are no games because they all got canceled. Very strange, very suspicious. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It was probably Phil Spencer's fault.
Keep in mind, for those who have no context for Phil Harrison is the reason Little Big Planet happened. Phil Harrison is actually an integral feature and an integral role in getting most of the third-party exclusives for the PS3. Thus, very important for people who own that platform because, you know, games.
I like games.
Yeah, that's depressing. Games are kind of important if you're selling a box that plays games.
So we talked about Microsoft. They're also relevant this week.
Oh, are they now?
So first of all, we talked about Xbox Live coming to Nintendo, I believe, last week.
Yes.
There's also a rumor that Microsoft and Nintendo are teaming up, and there will be Microsoft games coming over to the Switch, which already isn't that weird because Minecraft is there, which Microsoft technically owns.
Yep.
And like there might even be game streaming of Xbox One exclusives to the Switch.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying when we brought it up last week because the game.
You telling me that I can play Crackdown with Joy-Cons?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Perhaps.
The way it was intended.
Yep.
So here's the completely psychotic possibility this opens up. Not that this is actually even remotely possible. This is the first thing I thought of. You know, I got to start the feel engine.
Yep.
What if Microsoft makes them the console-only Switch and it's 4K?
No. I can't see that happening.
This is already... I couldn't have seen either of these things that are happening. That's
but what if
surreal.
it has ray tracing, Dan?
Well, I mean, the
And voxel spook power.
the game streaming showing up on the Switch would be the main reason why you would want to have an Xbox client on the Switch. And to Microsoft, it's important that no matter what, they need to do the work to get this client on everything, which is why it's going to be on, like they've already done videos talking about, oh, it's going to be on iOS, it's going to be on Android, it's going to be on Windows PC, it's going to be on blah. So that way you can play your Xbox games anywhere via the streaming of the cloud. So it makes sense that they're trying to work with Nintendo to get the streaming client on the Switch. That makes sense. Seems really possible because let's be real, the Switch isn't gonna play the Microsoft exclusive tiers. I don't know, whatever.
Xbox barely plays the Xbox exclusive tiers.
Right, the Xbox One does not play most Xbox exclusives functionally. But I think NVIDIA handles
exclusives?
Yeah, I know. We're talking about Sea of Thieves. We're using coded language, but we're just talking about Sea of Thieves because there are no others. I think NVIDIA handled so much of the hardware design on the Switch that if there's going to be a console version of the Switch, it's absolutely being handled by NVIDIA. a console exclusive 4K version, because Nvidia already has made an Nvidia Shield console that is 4K. So down the road, I could see them doing that. Microsoft does have, like to their credit though, Microsoft has an amazing hardware division. Like their vapor chamber bullshit for the fucking Xbox One X is really fucking good.
Vapor chamber.
I know, it sounds like a vape rig term. The cloud chasing you can do on the Xbox One X is fucking dope.
Your general enthusiasm talking about, man, they really did good with this vapor chamber.
Well, here's why this is an important thing to people. You know, when you boot up Kingdom Hearts 3 and your PS4 Pro sounds like it's trying to do liftoff? The Xbox,
yeah, it's doing that.
The Xbox One X does not do that because it has a cooling unit that's designed well at all.
But the fan's big.
Sony's like, what if fan big? I want big fan.
Unga!
I like big fan.
Like fucking
I like big fans.
The entirety of the PS4 Pro's design is like Mark Cerny's AMD comes to Mark Cerny and they're like, hey, you know, a lot of people are interested in doing mid-generational hardware. Maybe you should do that too. And Mark Cerny's like, well, when I designed the PS4, it was really perfect. But what if we had 1.5 of them? And that's seriously...
What if I didn't have to
What
try?
if the sandwich had another piece of bread in it?
What if I went to Target and bought a box fan and taped the PS4 to it?
And this is a thing I didn't think I'd get to talk about it on this podcast. So I was looking up Dreamcast mods to replace the built-in fan with a Noctua fan.
God.
I fucking hate you, Phil.
We replaced the disk drive and it's almost completely silent, but that fan in the fucking Dreamcast is annoying. It's not PS4 Pro annoying because fucking nothing is, but it's still kind of annoying.
It's not a helicopter.
It's not a fucking... It's not a drone, so it's not louder than the PS4 Pro. The PS4 Pro's fan is just a drone inside that can't lift off.
Correct. So I was trying to think of games that I would be like, oh man, this is great. Now I can play this on the Switch where I'm not making a meme.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just got hit in the head with, I need Cuphead on the Switch real bad.
Yeah.
Well, too bad it's going to be streamed and awful.
And that they probably wouldn't even have to stream.
Yeah.
No, they said not all of it would be streaming.
Huh.
I assume
Or the rumor does. The rumor
I
says.
assume with the rumor they're just talking about green lighting porting some games. So yeah, Cuphead could run on the Switch. That's pretty fucking obvious. That game runs on integrated graphics on PC. So, you know.
Yeah, I'd like that in the the Ori game.
Ori,
Yeah,
those are the
Switch.
big two.
Yeah. Ori, oddly enough, if I remember correctly, is a really demanding game.
Yeah,
But-
it's real pretty. They
It's
dumped
fucking-
money into that game.
Hell yeah, they did. Also, really smart tools.
That's one of those look at the money
yeah.
anytime a trailer comes out for it.
And it has an art style, so it looks better than almost every other look at the money game.
Every other Microsoft game.
This is a money made by Microsoft.
But yeah, I think for me, the Xbox exclusive I'd really want to play on the Switch, or I think opening it up like this would be interesting, is Halo. But they would need to make a Halo for that to be relevant.
They'd need to make a good Halo, which they haven't in like a decade.
What's going on with the Master Chief
holy
Collection?
Holy fuck.
By the way.
I think Field just got me. One moment. When did Halo Reach come out? Please tell me that was not 2009. Okay, it was
Hold on.
It was 2010. That's 1 year better, but holy shit. It has been basically a decade.
Yeah, that makes sense. That totally checks out. I didn't question it for a second when he said it because it was like, yeah, no, 343 can't make anything.
Oh god.
I was going to ask you, since you might know, since you like Halo, what's happening to the Master Chief Collection? Why do I hear about there being new updates for it still?
Because it's still not fixed.
So one, that. Two, it looks like they might be using it as a weird testing ground for some ideas for the next game. I think one of the things they added was like really weird.
I keep hearing about big announcements for the thing, like every 4 months for the past 5 years.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Day 1245, the game almost works.
Day 1245. Microsoft still has the front door barricaded. They keep airlifting us food, but we just want to go home and see our wives and children.
Little Timmy is a grown man now. He was 6 when we started this.
I'm so proud of him.
He owns a PlayStation. I hate him.
I hate him.
I have no son.
I'm really glad they kept doing the updates though, because now like they support the Xbox One X, so they look really nice. and they aren't as much of a tire fire, because the Master Chief Collection was literally, every time I thought about, I may end up with an Xbox One, what would I play? I'm like, the Rare Replay Collection and the Master Chief Collection. Oh, hey, done. Because they don't have any fucking games this gen. Like, it was that and Quantum Break.
Yeah.
They had Sunset Overdrive.
That's on PC now.
Yeah, but that doesn't take it away from them. They had it.
Oh, when you have a PC, it does.
When it runs at like 15 frames a second on PC, it runs fine. I mean 15 frames a second on Xbox and runs fine on PC.
Don't worry.
A little bit.
Don't worry. With the power of X, it can lock 20.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
But this partnership makes the next story much more interesting,
No.
which was Nintendo saying, we have a mystery box. Inside the mystery box is a beloved game that you all thought was dead, and we're going to commit necromancy and revive it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of
And
people
there's the main rumor that has come out is it's Scalebound.
Phantom Dust. Oh.
And that would be the funniest thing in the world. But I almost feel like the Microsoft thing disproves it, because you're going to put your thing on Nintendo and then Nintendo's going to hand you the biggest fucking L in the world.
It's Mega Man Legends 3. Yeah.
Like, if Nintendo somehow revives Scalebound, called Scalebound, and it looks like Scalebound, how do you recover?
But they'll continue to not care. That's generally what Microsoft does this gen. They just owned
Microsoft
like
has
every.
gotten a lot better about caring in the last couple of years. They've kind of made Sony look like shit.
They care about things that are not new game related because they don't have any. So I don't know.
I have a thing we could do, an idea, as it were.
Guess what the mystery box is?
Yeah, if you have a couple of guesses of what it is.
Are we disallowed from saying Scalebound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mega Man Legends 3.
Fucker.
Yeah, that's the one I said earlier.
Yeah, Bob said it first. It's his fucking treat. Hey, Bob, you want to say that thing you said earlier?
Nah, it's okay.
Well,
Let's see. I got another one.
Bob's like, nah, I left it on the ground for feel.
It could be Mega Man Legends 3. It could be Banjo-Kazooie.
Fucking.
Ugh. I mean, good for them.
Don't ew. Fucking asswipe.
I wouldn't be
Holy
excited.
shit.
No, Bob is right. No, he's not.
No.
Bob's like,
He's right about Tooie, but Kazooie is fine.
Tooie is raw.
The last
Nah.
good Rare game was GoldenEye. So it is written in the Book of Rage.
I don't know if you could say that one was good either.
GoldenEye?
Yeah.
For the time, GoldenEye was really good. It fused the best parts of PC first-person shooters and railgun shooters like Time Crisis, where you get lots of reaction animations for shooting people, plus the open design of having multiple objectives per level. GoldenEye may control like a fucking dump trunk nowadays, but that doesn't take away what it was at the time. Thank you for attending my TED Talk.
What's your guess, Dan?
Hey, I just finished a TED Talk, and like, you're putting me on the spot.
I think we can have up to 2 guesses because I have a meme guess that's just as strong as Scalebound.
Final Fantasy 16. People thought it was dead after 15, but Nintendo's bringing it back.
You see, Nintendo is bringing it back. We didn't hear about it. We were wondering when it was going to happen. It was going to be an exclusive. They're bringing back Agent.
Ah, darn it! He took mine.
I thought you said he was. I thought you were gonna say they're bringing back Project Hammer.
Oh my
No.
god!
Man, can we just not bring up Project Hammer anymore? Those poor people.
They're bringing back
I wanted that
StarCraft
game.
Zero, Star Fox Zero.
Even their powers of necromancy can't fix that fucking mess.
All right, my legitimate guess is they'll bring back Mega Man Universe.
That thing's too steeped in KG Inafune. I'm sorry.
Well, they'll make their like own thing where it's like, hey, we play your Mega Man Maker level.
Yeah, I think it would have a different name, so it wouldn't count.
Oh, okay, fine.
The 2 big things I really think it, like, Scalebound I think is a possibility, because that's been floating around as a rumor for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Banjo-Kazooie, which would make a lot of people happy and be a win. And then there's Mega Man Legends 3, and those are like the 3.
Does Skate 4 count?
Oh, Skate 4 was never announced. You can't cancel a game that's not announced.
Also, I feel like the people into Skate don't have Switches and won't buy Switches. But there's actually 2 mystery boxes.
Oh, there are.
Yes, there's the Square Enix mystery box, because in a recent financial report, Square Enix said, by the time of the end of March of 2020, we're going to see a major revenue spike from a release, which has led people to go, what could that be? Because Square Enix doesn't have any major titles that we know about set to come out.
It's Final Fantasy VII. Every headline told me that.
Well, here's what we know it can't be. It can't be Avengers because they didn't start development of that game until September 2018.
What are you talking about? They announced that thing in like September of 2017.
Correct. And they did not put together a studio to start development until September of last year.
I thought Crystal Dynamics was doing that.
So it is not that game.
So
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and say that it is the Final Fantasy VII remake for the Square thing. But I have a candidate for a game that was announced, didn't come out, and Nintendo's going to bring it back. Identify the PlayStation 3 PlayStation Eye game shown off at E3 2005, where you interface with two digital ladies who help you get to the bottom of a mystery, and they interact with your webcam footage.
I don't think that's very likely, Dan.
I think it's incredibly likely. I think it was such a strong trailer that Nintendo has been inspired for the last 14 years to make it into a reality.
I fucking hate you.
And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I've put a link in the description.
They're making a remake of the Guy game.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, the guy. So when you said that, my mind blanked completely, Casey, and I was like,
Yep, I was hoping so.
That's not a thing. And then I remembered it, and I was like, why have you done this? Why have you done this to me?
Why'd you mention a fucking iToy game?
Dude, it's fucking strong. It's not iToy. It's PlayStation Eye. Get it straight. Get your branding straight. Here you go. There's the trailer. Check it out.
I don't care.
No, you need to watch it. This is important.
Fine.
You will know
Only
what
because
I've been through.
I got a premonition.
What's in the box, Bob?
For the Square Enix box.
Uh-huh.
It's Terra Battle.
It's Terra Battle?
It's Sakaguchi going back to Square Enix.
Man, Bob.
It's being made by the guys who did Bravely Default because they're supposed to be working with him.
Oh, that's a good point. They could just make an RPG that is Terra Battle.
But would that be
That'd be a normal
the
RPG.
West care at all?
Fuck them.
Yeah, they could market it as basically Final Fantasy Terra Battle. I feel.
Yeah, no, they did that. That would be fucking great.
Just put Terra and then like a Latin word on it. We're good.
Right, it's done.
If you
Tell
want
Amano to draw something. We're set.
And honestly, the story for Terra Battle was pretty cool in the original mobile game. So I'd be excited.
What's up, Dan?
I'm marking this so I can fucking bleep it out. I'm remembering the end of fucking 15 and the meme joke about it of like.
Yes.
But Bob, Final Fantasy Terra Battle.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Terra Battle.
Man, that idea sounds terrible.
Oh. I tried.
Boo. Are you scared of me? Oh, wrong Terra, my bad.
Yeah, this Terra has green hair and is half Esper.
Wrong Terra again, Dad.
What? I thought Terra Battle was just a bunch of Terras battling.
I enjoyed Teen Titans.
What is with Kingdom Hearts sharing so many names with Final Fantasy characters?
Because they're uncreative.
It's all a reference.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I want Terra to show up in one of those. That'd be pretty good.
Oh, they just wanted to name that dude Earth.
Oh, you mean Butts?
It's like they're like, we got to name him something Earth related. So it was either Quake.
Oh man, do it. Carmack fucked up.
It's Aqua, Ventus, and Quaker.
Yes. Yeah.
I got some oats
Quaker
here.
Oats?
Quaker North.
I'd be and then the ending of the game is
God damn it. Yeah.
Darkness Oats.
come flavor.
Why haven't you been hired for Square Enix yet?
I don't know.
You can be their new Yoshi P.
I can go in and save some games with really brilliant ideas.
Over the weekend, Reuben Langdon, the voice actor for Dante in the Devil May Cry series, was shot at numerous times. Like they were trying to get into his car and they just kept shooting it. Apparently this happened in Guatemala. He was down there filming some documentary.
Oh my God, was he defending the fan base again?
No, he wasn't defending the
Was
fan
a game
base.
journalist shooting guns at him because
No,
he
Matt
defended
Walker
the fan
does
base?
that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Matt Walker takes many bullets for the fan base.
He's like, I do it for you. Oh, that's really fucked up, though.
Yeah, no, it's really.
But I
screwed up
I
and-
heard Langdon was fine because he switched to Royal Guard stance.
It helps.
Yeah, yeah.
Got to do those frame perfect guards.
Yeah. Going on wacky Yoo-hoo pizza adventures.
Yeah, no, that's fucking loopy. I'm really glad he's fine.
Right.
Reuben Langdon is a treasure.
It's like, of course he would be fine. That's so on brand.
He posted a video where it's him just going around the car, like showing the bullet holes, and like, oh yeah, this one looked like it was headed straight for my head. Good lord.
Jesus fucking Christ. So the moral of the story is don't go to Guatemala or don't be the voice actor for Ken Masters. Which one of these two am I supposed to learn from this?
Don't go to Guatemala and film a documentary. That
Okay.
seems like the combo that really just does it.
Gotcha. Okay, I gotcha.
Learning a lot.
Well, we're finishing up the news here. That was the last news story, so I figure I'll throw in. I didn't have any news to bring in this week, but I had one little tidbit to just tie things off at the end here. Bob,
What's up?
the lead programmer of Castlevania the Adventure is the founder of Treasure.
God fucking damn.
The founder
What?
of Treasure is the guy responsible for that tire fire of a game.
I knew it was going to be about that Castlevania game.
This is insane.
Bad. It is so fucking bad. Our Castlemania video is going to be Bob trying to get through 2 levels.
Oh my god.
I should play it and then go, man, this is pretty good. I don't know what his problem is.
Dude, there's no way you can do that. There's no way. You know what? I forgot to mention another way it's terrible. It eats inputs. So you'll hit the thing to whip an enemy and then nothing. And then the
Well,
enemy
it's 8
will
frames
slowly...
a second.
Yeah, so that's 52 of them where it's ignoring you. It's so bad. But yeah, I thought it was really cool that E-Tank brought up a viewer of the channel, E-Tank, who also streams on Twitch. He was bringing up that the lead programmer on that was the founder of Treasure, and I'm just like, how? Why do you got to make this so emotionally complex? Why can't I just be mad at the people who made this?
emotionally complex.
Yeah, because the
Why
way
can't
I
I
was
just hate them? Why couldn't they have produced nothing of value ever?
Right, couldn't they have gone on to make Telltale and after that Mercury Steam? Couldn't that be their legacy?
Then they morph into Keiji and Afune. It's just
And then the other half just go to Inti Creates.
I mean, that would just be so much easier for me to deal with. None of these complex moral grays, just rage. It's so
And then
much
one of them
cleaner.
is a channel awesome.
It's like Castlevania Adventure special thanks Doug Walker.
oh my god.
And then
CEO of Nintendo.
Dracula has his teeth.
Got one
Please
thing
stop.
real quick. What's going to be the
Oh my
better
God,
MMO?
I need that. I
Dragon-
need someone to Photoshop vampire Doug,
Doug
Walker.
Walker.
Oh my god.
Drac Walker.
But yeah, Dragon Marked for Death or Anthem, which is the better MMO?
What? Neither of those are MMO.
They're both pretending
Wait.
they're MMOs. It's
God
fine.
damn it. God damn it.
What was the one you said other than Anthem?
Dragon Marked for Death. That's an NT Creates game that came out last week.
Oh, Dragon Marked for Death.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're still kind of on the record on the hook to try that game at some point. People want
It's
us
not
to.
out
Okay.
physically yet, but maybe it's out digitally.
So I have to say this because I said it to KZ on one of his Smash stream the other day.
Yeah.
Yep, he did.
That's a 4-player multiplayer game.
And then I made that dumb KZ response of, it's for content, of course I will.
It's for content.
oh no.
Of course I will. And those were his last words.
I'm like, hey, it can't be worse than what I'm already supposed to do.
And I know
Did you
don't
wait?
give
No,
a shit.
wait. We're stopping this fucking bus. Did you just imply Dragon Marked for Death is somehow better than the bouncer?
Yes.
Fuck you.
It's probably 10 times better.
The bouncer does have a very Inti Creates plot.
I can't deal with these people right now. No, it doesn't feel. You know how I know it doesn't have an NT Creates plot? I didn't spend 20 minutes reading text or in cutscene right after the first level. It would take 20 minutes
They
straight.
couldn't afford it.
But there is that segment in the game
I can't fucking.
where Scion Barzad just sits down and reads the backstory of the game on a computer.
Hey, whoa. One, that scene is fucking incredible for 2 reasons.
One, there are only 6 entries in that computer.
He forgets them all as soon as he finishes
Yes,
reading.
he forgets them all as soon as he finishes reading. And the moment you finish reading the plot relevant one, a fucking ninja runs in the room and breaks the monitor.
It's pretty immense.
In the most jarring cut ever. It is so good.
I think I'm gonna start playing that maybe next week.
Oh wow. Yeah. What do you guys have coming up? What do you have coming up, KZ?
So I'm finishing up like the work on the Kingdom Hearts 3 LP. Maybe, who knows? I have to make one more video before the other stuff that I worked on. So maybe that will be a mess, and then I'm trapped. We're gonna keep working on that, of course. I don't know how, but I'm supposed to do a Smash stream on Friday, which this will come out after that happened. But working on that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what's going on.
Yeah.
If I'm alive for it, because I'm still fucked up from technical issues. And then starting next week, I need to start pre-production on my magnum opus. I have to go up to Bird and say, all right, here's a picture of Scion Barsad. In fact, I'm just gonna send him a picture of him with no context, and he's gonna know.
Yeah.
No.
He's gonna know
what's
the
gonna be
bad
different?
news.
What's gonna be different? It's just gonna be Sora again. I don't get it.
Well, he needs to. The shot needs to go low enough for you to see 1, KZ's dog collar, and 2, KZ's giant pendant.
okay.
That's how it will be
Okay,
different.
I'm gonna tell me when you do that because I'm gonna DM Bird instructions.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna DM Bird and be like, "Hey, make me into Dominique."
Bleep this out so they don't know because I'm gonna tell KZ.
Okay.
Okay.
Just have
That actually works really well, and I'm kind of astonished.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell him the time has come, and then I'm gonna say the next part is message feel he has instructions.
Well, Bob, what do we have coming up on the channel?
We got that stream tomorrow that'll have happened.
Yeah, we're doing the Mega Maker Live this Friday. We are also going to be doing the Giving Games a Chance next week for The Bouncer. I didn't go into it at all in this podcast, but I spent a really long time trying to force video modes via a soft mod on the PS2. And as it turns out, when your game is designed for field rendering, which is where the game is 480i, and
That isn't a real thing.
it literally only renders half of the vertical resolution at any point in time. When you try to force other video modes, it still only renders half of the vertical height. So what you would get is a pretty high resolution image horizontally and then dog shit vertically. So that way every
it's just
piece
like
of
a line.
yeah, every piece of text in the game looks like dog shit. So I was like, fuck it. We'll just do 480i. It's fine. It looks fine. This past week, we put out the weekly beating for Marvel vs. Capcom 1 on the Dreamcast. And that video,
good.
1, looks really good.
It does, actually.
And 2, man, it's been forever since I...
So I want to give you some praise, Dan, that somebody gave me about you. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
We were talking, and I said, yeah, Dan doesn't sleep. And then they said, his video quality looks like that, and he has a no emulation rule. No shit, he doesn't sleep.
God, that's accurate. Yeah.
My thumb still hurts from playing those, by the way.
Yeah, the PS...
The Dreamcast.
Dude, the Dreamcast D-pad is not exactly ideal for anything.
Ever.
Yeah, as it turns out.
It's kind of raw, though.
I mean, make my thumb raw.
Yeah, so that makes it raw. What else? Next week we have the weekly beating for Guilty Gear X is going to come out. I'm very excited for that because Guilty Gear X on the Dreamcast is... you forget how they drew some of the characters back then. It's pretty good.
Is that the one where, like, some of the character portraits are just the ugliest thing in the world?
Yes.
Some
And the character select music is fucking terrible. Yeah, no, it's real great.
It might have been the Xbox version, but I just remember playing some version where like Bridget was there and his portrait is like they look like a weird deranged stoner.
Yeah, that's XX.
that's
I'm pretty
typical
sure.
of Bridget, I feel.
Yeah, for some reason Bridget's always portrayed like that. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, no, this is actually pre that, so there's no Bridget.
It's some DeviantArt level for some of the characters.
This is great. But yeah, so we got that coming out. And aside from that, oh yeah, we also finally got up that Yoshi quick play. And that Yoshi game, I'm going to state again here, we played the demo for Yoshi's Crafted World. That game's really good, kind of weird. Did not expect that. Had a really fun time with that demo. If you're interested in the game, check out the quick play. Also, in the next week, I plan on haranguing YouTube staff more over my videos not properly encoding into 4K on YouTube. Don't know what's up with that, and they don't either. So I'm going to keep talking to them and see if it works itself out. Hey, Bob, do you have anything else planned, like a video?
No, not that I can think of.
No videos in the next week?
Starts with a B.
Bob not committing to the review coming out in the next 7 days.
I still love that it's a fucking
Yeah,
review.
that was the review. Yeah, no. it's really, really, really hard for me to care about Bayonetta when Devil May Cry is this close.
But that's the perfect tone for that video.
I know.
Luckily, Bob has a good excuse not to work on it because Bayonetta 3 is going to come out eventually.
It's that canceled Nintendo project that they're going to revive.
Oh, Lord. You know, we caught some flack last week for our Bayonetta 2 opinions, Bob.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. All I can say is go watch that Let's Play. That's all I got.
That's weird to me because, like, Bayonetta 2, I have seen very few people who are like, yeah, it's good. It's great. Better than the first that isn't a gaming journalist.
Right. Game journalists generally feel it's way better than the first, either because they didn't really play the first when it came out or they love vehicle segments and set pieces over good polished gameplay.
Well, it has more set pieces and it's way easier.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, well.
What you got going on this week?
Yeah, Phil?
I'm remodeling the room I'm sitting in right now on Saturday to hopefully improve podcast sound.
Nice. I'm envious.
Live stream it.
And also,
I did some remodeling.
Yeah.
I did my laundry.
it's just going to be like a spring cleaning thing, but it will facilitate Dan having less to edit, ideally, and also enabling me to do certain things more easily that I'm going to be doing in the future.
I can chew more.
What Phil is saying is he's installing a toilet right next to his desk.
The main thing was I was actually going to buy a computer monitor, so when I'm on KZ's Smash streams, I don't have to switch between channels.
Yeah, you told me about that. That's insane.
Right.
But I'm glad you're solving that problem. Vox was kind of blown away that I'm using a single monitor for our OBS stuff, our live streams. And it's like, yeah, no, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
What?
Yeah, I don't have room. I have these two audio processors, a speaker, my keyboard, and my mouse, and this monitor, and that's all I have space for.
Don't they have like those things where you can like prop the monitors on like a metal
I don't have space.
plate?
Don't have space. No space. None. I work in a tiny
What if you get a projector?
Then I'll spend all day judging it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, well, thanks for yet another amazing episode of the Big Think Dimension.
Yeah. It was very short.
Uh-huh. I like how we keep these short and easy to edit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'll get this out tomorrow, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Cool. Thanks for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. This show, like our other podcasts, is only possible with the generous time our co-hosts have given to us and the equipment we've bought to make it higher quality and easier to produce. Please consider supporting our podcast series on our GigaBoots podcast Patreon and look forward to more gamer premonitions and Big Think Dimension in the future. Okay, Bob.
What's up?
We're doing it.
What am I supposed to say at the beginning of this? Like the
You're supposed to say that this is the GigaBoots executive producers. So you're supposed to thank them.
This month's GigaBoots executive producers for February 2019 are Vincent Poverk, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Brendan O'Sullivan, Star Falcon,
Even if you say it right now, it's that one.
Spaceman Spiff, Prince Van Space, Danny Richardson, Dryzart, Wardonis, Shadow in the Darkness, and Shadow in the Darkness. Thanks to our executive producers, and also these guys. Oh man, where'd they go? They're so quick. You think they'll be back?
No. Tell them they can go to patreon.com/GigaBoots today.
Go to GigaBoots.com and become a patron. Yeah, you can go to GigaBoots. You can go to Patreon.com and become a patron of GigaBoots.
We're letting you do that. You're welcome.
It was great. It would be great. Thank you for doing it. I'm sure you've already done it.